Hey, it's me, Jesse Lee, aka Music News Daddy, and this is just a clip from this week's episode of the podcast. Be sure to check out the whole thing. Next story, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath's final show will be live streamed globally, and Sharon Osbourne apparently had to kick a band off of it. So Black Sabbath and Ozzy's final show is coming up next month in July. It's in Birmingham, UK. And dude, this thing is just like, it's every metalhead's dream. Like, I feel like every metalhead in the world would like give up their visitation rights for their kid for the weekend in order to go see this show. Like, it is just a stacked lineup of Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Tool, Slayer, Pantera, just a ton more. But of course, you know, because it's so awesome and kick-ass, it's sold out. You know, you couldn't even sell your kids to go to this thing if you wanted to, because the thing is it's completely sold out. But they did announce they're going to stream it worldwide for the low price of $29.99. And fans also have a bundling option for the live stream where you can get the ticket and a collectible t-shirt for $65, which is not bad. You know, because I feel like a t-shirt in general is probably about $60 from these bigger bands. So get a t-shirt and you get to see Ozzy for, you know, on your laptop, computer screen, phone, wherever you're watching at. But so when they first announced this, fans were kind of like shocked. They couldn't believe that the Ozzy and Sharon and, you know, Sabbath, that they were charging for this. They couldn't believe that they were, you know, that they were asking for money to watch a live stream. And I will admit, I had a little bit of sticker shock at first because I saw $30. I'm like, ooh, that's seems a little steep, right? $30 for a live stream. And that's just coming from, like, you know, I watched WrestleMania with my Netflix subscription. You know, everything's like bundled in now. You know, you're just used to everything being like, you pay $10 a month for a service and like you get everything. You don't have to worry about, you know, unless you get, I guess if you get UFC pay-per-views, you still have to pay for those. But I mean, I think $30 is totally reasonable still. Like, even though, like I said, it's kind of like, oh, wow, $30. But when you think about it, it's Ozzy, it's Black Sabbath, it's their last show. You know, I mean, the younger generation is used to YouTube and Netflix and just having everything on demand. And so like, they're not really used to paying for content. I think that's like a big part of why people were like, well, this is bullshit. Why are they charging? Which kind of, you know, they're not used to paying for content, and especially they're not used to paying for music. And that kind of digs deeper into a whole nother situation. That's a whole nother bucket of chestnuts. I don't know if we want to get into about how like people just don't see value in recording music like they used to. They don't want to buy music. They don't want to spend money on music. Now, I'm not trying to say everyone. Obviously, I know you're a cool person and you probably want to spend money on music and help out and support the artists. I get that. But I'm just saying in general, people are not used to spending money on content. And even me, like I said, myself, like, you know, I'm not like a Gen Z kid. I'm a little older than that. I'm not going to say exactly how older, but I'm a little older than that. And but even me, like growing up in the era of buying music, I still like, now after all these years of being pampered, like a little princess with streaming, it's hard to go back to, you know, paying for things. But, you know, that's how it used to be. That's how you used to be able to watch your concerts from home. You got to, if you want to watch your favorite rock stars kick ass on stage from the comfort of your own home, you had to spend a little money. You had to get a pay-per-view, you know. Wait until these kids find out how you used to have to go to a whole store and rent your porn, right? What a crazy concept that is to think about now. Like, you used to have to go to a whole store, like a video store with normal people, like just regular old, like not deviant assholes, and like you just had to go to the store with like families looking for Air Bud on VHS, you know, and you had to like weave past them and find a curtain. Also, I'm saying this like speculatively because I'm just a little bit young enough that I didn't grow up in that era, but this used to be a thing because my family owned a video store when I was a kid, or they didn't own it, they worked at it. My family hung out at a video store a lot. I guess that's what I'm getting at. I'm getting off track. Anyway, there was a whole curtain, and that's where they kept the goods. That's where they kept the smut, you know, and you had to peel back that curtain and go there in this like little room to get your dirties, you know, to get your jollies off. And then you rent your video and you go home and you do your thing, you bring it back. That's so crazy. You're borrowing porn. And then every time you watch it, you know, everyone else, like, I don't know, you know what everyone else is doing when they borrowed it. Like, man, I feel like a lot of people probably just didn't bring them back, right? You just like brought them in and you rented them out, took them home, did your business, and like you were too ashamed. Because when you got it, you were probably all horned up and like, yeah, I'm gonna get porn, I don't care. And then you got home and you finished, you're like, I can't go back there. I can't show my face back there. Some kid was trying to rent Home Alone when the last time I was there. That's so embarrassing. Anyway, so the live stream, that's what we're talking about, right? Ozzy Osbourne's live stream is going to be live streamed on their website, backtothebeginning.com. So, and that's why, again, why it's not bundled in with Netflix or anything like that is because it's on their own individual platform. And a lot of fans are calling this whole thing a cash grab. Like, why are they charging money for it? Blah, blah, blah. But like, all the proceeds are going to different charities. Like Ozzy or someone that knows Ozzy's Facebook password confirmed that 100% of the proceeds from the live stream are going to go to Acorns Children's Hospice, Berman's Children's Hospital, and Cure Parkinson's as well. So that's a big reason why they couldn't do it on like one of these other platforms like Netflix or Peacock or whatever. I'm assuming anyway. The reason why is because they need to have it on their own platform so they can control where the money goes. You know, if they upload this to Netflix or HBO Go, and also it'll probably crash because those platforms always do. If they do that, then they've got to split the pot with those streaming companies. So in order to, keep all the money in-house and be able to do what they want with it, which is supposed to be, donated to charity, they got to put it on their own website. So I really hope that the bandwidth on that website, I really hope it holds up. I don't want the news story to be that following Monday, like, oh, outraged metal fans freak out because, Ozzy's and Black Sabbath's final show crashes and no one could watch it. Like that's not the headline I want to read. Okay, that's not what I want to. I know like everyone loves negativity and negativity clicks and all that shit, but I want the final Ozzy Osbourne show, final Black Sabbath show to go off without a hitch, him to ride off in the sunset. Everyone have a great time. Everyone just like enjoy it. Someone that won't be enjoying it is whatever band got kicked off of this thing though. According to an interview Sharon Osbourne did with Louder Sound, she said she had to kick a band off the show last minute. She said, I had a huge to-do with the manager over this celebration with Ozzy and Sabbath, and it was probably the worst way I felt in years. And I don't even care what this person says about me, thinks about me, because he doesn't know me. And he's not going around. And now he's going around making up bullshit lies because I threw his band off the bill. And now I need to know what that band was. I need to know who the band is. I mean, come on. like she doesn't specify who the band is, but we got to figure this out, right? All right, so we got the old flyer up here, the old graphic, and we've got the new one they just announced. And I'm looking at the differences between the bands that are on here. And I don't... Rival Sons is on that one too. It looks like all the same bands are listed. So they don't show who the additional performances are on the new graphic. So it could be the Smashing Pumpkins. It could be Red Hot Chili Peppers. It could be Sleep Token. I don't know. So I guess the only way we're really going to know is when this event actually happens. We'll see who is playing and who didn't play that was advertised. I mean, then we'll know. So this can be a long build-up. This can be a long build-up. A lot of anticipation, about a month before we get the answer to this one. Unless, somebody comes out and says, it was me. Sharon kicked me off the show.
The Jesse Lee Show.